Welcome back to Rising. What's in your lens, Lindsay? I feel like I can probably guess what it's about.
It's going to be Epstein. So the president keeps trying to change the subject from Jeffrey Epstein, but his tactics are only making it worse. Whether you think the Epstein saga is about exposing a powerful trafficking ring or just tabloid fodder, it's clear this White House doesn't want you to ask too many questions. Let's be real. If you didn't want people to think you're hiding something, why would you respond like this?
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country. And that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total okay?
So that's not the exact language of someone with nothing to hide. And while the president wants the public to move on, the questions around his ties to Epstein and now Ghislaine Maxwell aren't going anywhere. We're learning that a high-level meeting between the DOJ and White House officials was allegedly planned to discuss releasing an interview between Maxwell and the Deputy Attorney Todd Blanche, but also many other things. Then suddenly that meeting was canceled, or if you believe the vice president's spokesperson, it was never planned in the first place. Either way, weird. Add that to the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted sex trafficker and Epstein's close associate, was quietly moved from her Florida prison to a lower security facility in Texas without any explanation or much at all. President Trump says he had no idea, but Jasmine Crockett, she isn't buying that. Take a look.
When it came to what the president told me today, that he was not personally aware of the Ghislaine Maxwell prison transfer, do you believe that?
I don't think that there's a lot that the president is personally aware of. So him being clueless is on brand. But in this particular set of circumstances where he is personally looking out for himself, I absolutely believe that he was knowledgeable about this.
So Representative Crockett goes on to say when it's about protecting himself, he absolutely knows what's happening. Now, here's the kicker. Jeffrey Epstein's madam, Ghislaine Maxwell, reportedly told Justice Department officials in recent interviews that she never saw President Trump doing anything concerning. So let me get this straight. We're supposed to believe her after she's allegedly perjured herself twice and has every reason to stay in Trump's good graces, especially if she's hoping for a pardon down the line. The Trump strategy here, it's a three-part play. Well, step one, tell his supporters to stop talking about Epstein. Step two, change the subject to anything else, even if it makes no sense. Step three, trickling out just enough information to act transparent while still keeping most of the truth locked away. Here's the problem. The more the president screams hoax, the more people wonder what he's hiding. Like when he tried to deny writing a letter to Epstein, but then went off about never doodling, which only triggered people to dig up his doodling old sketches. Or when he brought a registered sex offender, Lawrence Taylor, to the White House to promote physical fitness, only reminding folks about the other sex offender he used to call a friend. Let's be clear, even if no new bombshell drops, the questions about Epstein, Maxwell, and what Trump knew or didn't know are not going away, especially not when the administration keeps acting like there's something we should not see. And in this case, silence speaks louder than any Truth Social post.
I think it's time to move on.
No, I'm not dealing with this, Robbie.
I think it's time to move on.
This is such, you know what? This is ridiculous behavior coming from you. It's not time to move on. And I don't think that MAGA base is going to follow you along to this moveon.com. No, I don't think so. I think that people in the party, okay, whatever. I don't think people in the party want to just move on. There is a vested interest in the Congress, and we're especially not going to move on this month. They've done subpoenaed 1 million people to come testify, high-profile people.
There's nobody who knows anything, and there's nothing to say.
And we just should believe Ghislaine Maxwell. No, you know what? Why are they not releasing all the documents that the Treasury Department happens?
They've released hundreds of thousands.
We should definitely follow the money, and that will answer a lot of the questions. They keep waving these things in front of our faces that they may or may not release. Release the Treasury Department documents, and we will understand where the money went, and that will tell us what crimes happened.
What money? What do you? We know what crimes happened. Jeffrey Epstein was a abuser of sex.
Who was paying him? They said that Jeffrey Epstein was bribing people. Which people in political?
Who said this? He was not bribing anyone.
People think that Jeffrey Epstein had stuff on other people.
People think that Martians are hiding in the.
You believe in aliens?
No, I don't believe in aliens. Okay, this is beginning to resemble the UAP thing quite a bit.
Such a ridiculous
we know there was a man and a woman involved in sexual abuse of underage people.
Lots of high-profile political people, and that it could include President Trump.
Were accused by liars.
If we see the money and follow the money trail of people who potentially paid Epstein, that could be looking like a payoff.
No, but
yes, we can follow it along.
He wasn't. His fortune does not come from being
Okay,
paid
invested
by
in,
abuse.
invested in. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
quid pro quo. Again, that's not something that Trump is completely absolved of. That's something that he does often, right? We understand that based on the history of.
So that he could have sex with underage women?
No, I don't know. I'm not accusing President Trump of anything. I'm saying, like, let's release all the information. President Trump should also be subpoenaed. He should also be subpoenaed. Why not? He should also testify
This is
before
a Democratic hoax after
No,
all.
no, this
It
is.
is.
You know what? This
It
is
is.
ridiculous. No, I can't. I can't.
No, he's right.
I can't even believe
Trump
you're
is. I
doing
didn't
this.
I didn't
No, I'm
completely
very
agree with Trump
interested
at the
in this.
beginning, but as time goes on, I think he's totally correct about
No,
this.
well, then just release
He
the
was
information.
wise to, from the start, say, there's been a lot of false accusations made in this category, so if there's new stuff that's in the public eye, we'll release it, and if
all
there's
your
not, we
people.
won't.
Explain Kash Patel. Explain Pam Bondi. Explain everything that they said for the last year about.
Yeah,
all
they
the
were
Epstein
grifting.
stuff.
They overpromised. They promised something that wasn't actually there. They now realize that they had to actually, so many MAGA people are used to making sensational promises and never having to follow up on those promises because they're not actually in power. But now we are in power. MAGA is in power, so they had to do what they said they were going to do, and they were caught in that hypocrisy because there's nothing they can do because there's no new information on high-profile abusers of young girls related to.
So then why is it bipartisan committee subpoenaing all these high-profile people? Why are they moving forward with this? People on both sides of the aisle. Why is that happening?
I am perfectly happy
There
to
is an
hold
interest in finding out
Kash
how
Patel
this can
and
happen,
Dan
all the steps
Bongino
that led us to get
and
to a
A.G.
situation
Bondi
like this.
accountable for misleading their own supporters about what was going to happen when they got to be in charge.
And you just
I agree with
accept
that.
anything
But
Ghislaine
Donald
Maxwell
Trump never
says.
said
Like
anything to the
she said,
contrary.
"Oh, I didn't see anything egregious coming from President Trump. Yes, I want a favor from him, but I just want to also let you know he's the best guy in the world."
We can't accept what
Like,
Ghislaine Maxwell has to say either way. If
Exactly,
Ghislaine
so-
Maxwell came out tomorrow and said, I got the dirt on all sorts of people,
Why would
we wouldn't believe that.
So why are we okay with Todd Blanche going to meet with her, Trump's friend and personal lawyer? Why are we okay with that? You need to just keep it consistent.
There is
I'm very
nothing
upset
to
with you
see
right now.
here.
No. You are okay
It's
with
true,
that?
though.
No. What is the strategy here? What was given to Ghislaine Maxwell to make her feel comfortable enough to move so fluidly, move down to a lower security prison, ask for pardons, ask the Supreme Court to review the case? Like, she is moving in a way of a free or about to be
I don't
free
think she'd
woman.
be pardoned.
Okay, but this is what might be happening. And so you have any fuel for President Trump if he pardons her? Does that bother you at all?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to, and I don't think he should. Why would he pardon her? There's nothing
Because
to
she
pardon
might
over.
make his base happy and speak about the lies that she wants to tell to make him happy. That's the
She's
agreement.
gonna-
That's why we
she's
want to
going
know
to
about.
You think she's going to make false accusations against Democrats on Trump's behalf, and then she's going to get a pardon?
Name
That's what
everybody
you
else
think's gonna
besides
happen.
President Trump.
Yeah, that'd be
and
very
that's
bad.
acceptable to you. Or
Of course not.
No,
absolutely
exactly.
not.
So you
But-
would hold President Trump's feet to the fire and say, "Oh,
that's
now what are you
But
hiding?"
the Epstein, the truther people are holding up known false accusations like Virginia Giuffre, who made admittedly false accusations because she retracted them, and a whole bunch of other people who made millions of dollars accusing prominent people, and that grift, which has been held up as truth, is just the same Me Too overreach type stuff. It's the exact same thing. That's
Look,
the basis of this whole story
I'm a friend,
at this point.
Robbie, of the people that were interested in this. I agreed to you and honestly said I was
Yeah.
not interested in this at first, but the MAGA base was so interested in this, I got on board, and now I'm getting abandoned because it's a hoax? No, I'm interested now
All I
in the
wanna
information
know-
you presented to me.
My only
So I
remaining
would like to continue
question
forward.
is the intelligence connection, because Ghislaine Maxwell was connected through her father, or her father at least was connected to Mossad, and so if Epstein was protected, or if there were law enforcement looking the other way because he was working in an intelligence asset capacity, that remains plausible to me, and I would like that question still answered. If we have information, I would like them to tell us more. Of course, the government is never going to admit willingly any intelligence asset sort of scenario. So I support Thomas Massie and what he's doing. I just don't think we're going to find out more about high-profile abusers.
So right now we're just wasting money and time subpoenaing all these people.
Next up, Elon Musk walked out of a California court with a win this week. What it means for the future of AI coming up. Stay with us.